So how do you figure out if a company is actually doing well? I mean, do you trust the spreadsheets, the cold, hard numbers from the financial analysts? Or do you listen to the big, ambitious story the company is telling about its own future? It's a classic dilemma, right? And today, we're going to look at a perfect example of this with one of India's most beloved brands, Asian Paints. We've got two completely different reports telling two wildly different stories. So yeah, let's get right into it.
If you're in India, you know this line. It's more than just a catchy slogan, right? Har ghar kuch kehta hai. It's become this cultural touchstone. Asian Paints, for so many people, isn't just a can of paint you buy. It's a part of the home itself, woven into the story of family, comfort, and, all those aspirations we have for our spaces.
But here's the twist. While our homes are telling that story of comfort and warmth, Wall Street, well, it's telling a very different story. And it sounds a lot more like an alarm bell. The people looking at the numbers, the analysts with their spreadsheets, they're seeing something that's making them nervous. The picture they're painting, no pun intended, isn't nearly as rosy.
And this really lays out the whole conflict for us, right here. On one side, you've got the analyst's view. Weak outlook, muted growth. It's blunt, it's all about the numbers. But then on the other side, you have the company's view, literally from their annual report, elevate, evolve, engrave. It's all about vision, ambition, and the future. So the big question is, who should we believe?
Okay, let's start with the warning signs. We're going to dig into the analyst side of the story first. What exactly are they saying that's got them so worried?
So a lot of this caution is coming from a pretty big report, one from ICICI Securities that came out in February 2025. And it really does cast a shadow over the company's immediate future. We're not talking about some random speculation here. This is a deep dive analysis based on hard data and current market trends.
And yeah, they don't mince words. Their main takeaway is pretty stark, a weak outlook for the next couple of quarters. They're basically saying, look, expect a really tough road ahead for at least the next 6 months. They're predicting very slow revenue growth, maybe not even hitting single digits.
And here's the visual proof they're pointing to. This chart, it's straight from their report, and it shows volume growth. Now, just look at that line. You see how it had those big peaks, but now it's flattened out and is clearly trending down. That's the red flag for analysts. It's a flashing sign that says consumer demand is slowing down, big time.
And that trend we just saw, it translates directly into these numbers. What you're looking at is analysts basically lowering their expectations for the future. They're cutting their forecasts for revenue, for profits, pretty much across the board for the next 2 fiscal years. And yeah, those numbers in parentheses, that's how much they've cut their predictions by. It's not a good sign.
Okay, so that's the gloomy forecast from the analysts. But remember, that's only one side of the story. Now let's flip the coin and look at the much more colorful vision that Asian Paints is painting for itself.
And the company hits back at that whole slowdown narrative with one huge number, 338 billion rupees. Let that sink in. This isn't some small company teetering on the edge. We're talking about a massive, market-leading powerhouse. This number alone completely changes the scale of the conversation, doesn't it?
So you might be wondering, how are they planning to keep growing? Well, their strategy is pretty bold. They're trying to fundamentally change who they are. Their big idea is to go from being just a paint company, what they call capturing share of surface, walls, to becoming a complete home decor partner. They want to capture the share of space, meaning the entire home. And listen, this is not just some fancy corporate talk. They're actually doing it. Look at this list. We're talking decorative lighting, modular kitchens, bath fittings, fabrics, even windows and doors. They are aggressively pushing into all these new areas to become a genuine one-stop shop for making your home beautiful.
And this is just a brilliant example of how they're thinking. This isn't just a display of paint colors. No way. This is a full-on art installation called Chromocosm. It's a deep dive into color technology and design. It's a huge, bold statement from them saying, hey, we don't just sell paint in a can, we sell creativity. We sell design. It's a totally different level.
Now here's a number you won't find on a standard financial report, 70. That's their Net Promoter Score. And let me tell you, a score of 70 is insanely high. It's a measure of customer loyalty. What it means is that people don't just buy Asian Paints. They love the brand so much, they're out there actively telling their friends and family to buy it too. That's powerful stuff.
All right, so we've got two completely different and honestly pretty compelling stories here. On one hand, you have short-term financial pain. On the other, you have this grand long-term vision.
So how on earth do we make sense of this? Well, let's try putting them side by side on some of the key issues.
Okay, so first up, competition. The analysts are worried about it. And you know what? The company even admits it's getting tougher out there. But look at their response. Instead of just getting into a price war, they're doubling down on their strengths. They're pouring money into their partnerships with dealers and boosting their customer service to, build an even stronger fortress around their business.
Another huge risk the analysts keep pointing to is the cost of raw materials. I mean, the price of paint depends heavily on stuff like crude oil and titanium dioxide, and the prices for those things, they can swing wildly. That can seriously squeeze a company's profits, and it's something they can't fully control. But here's how the company sees it. They look at their supply chain not just as a risk, but as a huge strategic advantage. They're saying, look, we're using our massive scale and our tech to be nimble, to be agile. They're launching tons of new innovative products and branching out so they're not so reliant on any one single ingredient. It's a pretty smart way to fight back.
So we've heard both sides of the argument. We've looked at the numbers, and we've heard the vision. What does this all mean when we're trying to figure out if a company like this is truly healthy? What's the big takeaway here?
Well, on one hand, you have the analyst story, and it's totally valid. It's a data-driven snapshot focused on the here and now, the next 6 to 12 months. It's pointing out very real challenges like slowing demand and more competition. Think of it like a weather forecast. It tells you if you need an umbrella today.
And then you have the company's story. This one is all about the long game. It's a strategic vision for building value years down the line, and it's built on things you can't always put in a spreadsheet, like that incredible brand loyalty and a commitment to innovation. So if the analyst report is the weather, the company's vision is the climate report.
And that brings us to the most crucial point of all. To really truly understand a company's health, you absolutely have to look at both. The numbers on the spreadsheet tell you about the storm clouds overhead right now, but the story in the annual report, that tells you about the company's plan to navigate that storm and where it's hoping to sail in the long run. If you only look at one, you're missing half the picture.
So, I'll leave you with this question. Which story is going to define the next chapter for Asian Paints? In this showdown between a challenging economic forecast and a truly powerful brand story, which one do you think will ultimately paint the future? It's a fascinating question and definitely something to think about.